Because one thing that humans are not incredibly good at is acknowledging our own improvement, because we have this baseline of like not enough. We start with an assessment. The questions alone can like turn on some light. Hello and welcome to Piece by Pieces podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Hutt. I am a brain engineer, a certified hypnotherapist, and life coach, and I specialize in retraining our brains to be on our side, befriending your brain, because we're all on the same team, as well as identifying and getting in touch with and loving on and attending to our wounded inner children, which isn't as scary as it may sound. And these are my areas of expertise, and all of the work that I have done on myself in my training and with my clients is to build this peace, this inner peace that we all want, that we all desire, and all of the pieces of the human experience that are in the way of us experiencing that peace. One of the ways that I do this for my clients, the newest way that I'm working with my clients and providing a safe space to do this, is my new Break the Mold Club, which we kicked off this week. And I just had my first call with a couple of the clubbers earlier today, just a couple of hours ago, and I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for the people that have come into my path along the way that opened up a door to something that I didn't know existed. And I'm so grateful to my past selves for having the will and the desire to see what's inside that door, to go down those paths and to have faith and courage to see where it would take me. And I'm so grateful and blessed to be in the place where I am now, personally, inside my own human here, with this peace that I can carry in me and that I can access and touch into at any time. Even when I'm ugly crying, upset about something, even when I'm incredibly frustrated with my daughter, even when things don't seem to be going my way in one aspect or another, I still have this solid ground underneath my feet of peace, personal power, and patience and love. And this new space of Break the Mold Club is a community, a group, a safe space for women that are all on this path, this of healing, of unlearning stuff, of stepping into their authentic selves, of being tired of feeling hurt, and left out and unloved and like they don't belong, different, that are tired of feeling like they're here to serve everybody else, but that their own needs never get met. And I often imagine myself talking to other moms, that I'm speaking to other moms, because I know that motherhood is a real big opportunity for us to not only make powerful choices in and of ourselves for our children and the way that we show up for our children, but there's aspects of raising little children that then remind us of things that we experienced as a child, that give us another opportunity to then like heal ourselves and choose to show up for our kids in a different way than we had available to us to choose differently. But in my Break the Mold Club right now, I do have moms. I have moms of little kids, and I have empty nesters, and I have dog moms, women that don't have kids yet. And so it's really open to anybody. And when I work with someone one-to-one or in a group like this, we start with an assessment of where you are to get a baseline of where you're starting. And I do this for a couple of reasons. One, the questions alone can like turn on some lights in our body, in our mind, in our emotions of like, oh, that hit me different. Two, it gives the individual person, the unique person, it gives them a baseline for something numerical that they can look at, later in a week, in a month, in 2 months, in a year, to look at to see how far they've come, to see which pieces haven't been moving, and to be able to choose how to respond moving forward. It's also helpful for me as a practitioner to be able to see where my clients are moving, how they are improving, and where I can improve in different pieces that I can choose to create specific tools or exercises for those other specific things that may not be moving. Because one thing that humans are not incredibly good at, unless we are consciously looking for it or we have a framework to reference, is acknowledging our own improvements and the improvements of others, because we have this baseline of like, not enough. Yeah, great, I've lost 5 pounds, but I need to lose 50, so not enough. Great, my husband is, unloading the dishwasher now, but I need him to do this, this, and this. It's not enough. Great, now I got a $5 an hour raise, but I really needed like 20, so not enough. We have this not enoughness, so that we rarely stop to acknowledge and look at and be like, okay, it is improving. It is moving. I am improving. That person is improving. My situation is improving. So that's why I do these assessments, and I'm going to do them now. I'm going to give them to you and let you see where you are with these questions right now, to give you a baseline of where you are right now. There's 2 different assessments I'm going to do in this podcast, and it'll give you a good baseline of moving forward in general, whatever you choose to do. If you choose to work with me, I am blessed and excited and so pumped if that is the case. And the Break the Mold Club, this first round, the doors will be open until the end of March. So if you are on the fence and you just, you're feeling it now, you are welcome in. Latecomers are welcome, because imperfections are welcome here in my world and in Break the Mold. And if you choose to not work with me, that's totally fine, of course, as well. But it will give you a baseline of where you are today, so that as you move forward in your own journey, that you can maybe find it a week, a month, a year from now and be like, oh yeah, I remember that. Wow, I'm in a different spot now. And then it'll give you a moment of gratitude and reflection there. So let's jump right in. So assessment number 1. This is a series of 7 questions, and you're going to rate them on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being, I don't agree, or no, or etc. And 10 being, yes, I agree, yes. And I do want to note, whatever number comes to you, whatever comes first, whether it's a number visually passing through your mind, or something that you hear or you feel in your body, you're going to feel a pull to one number almost immediately. Go with that number. That is the number. That is the number right there. Trust that that's the number, and quiet your logical mind and its reasoning of like, oh, we're saying 3, but it's really 7. Don't you think it's 7 or 9? Are you sure it's 9? Because I'm sure it's like a 4, So whatever comes up first before that talkie starts kicking in, let's go with that. Okay. So first question, I make good decisions and life choices. 1, you disagree. 10, you fully agree. Number 2, my life has meaning and purpose. 3, I recognize my limiting beliefs and take action. Number 4, I am comfortable with who I am. Number 5, I am true to myself. Number 6, I accept that I am lovable. And number 7, I am committed fully to participating in this process of healing, growth, and evolution. Great. So you have those numbers. And take a moment to reflect on anything that you thought may be different, may have been different, Was there anything that came to light with any specific question or anything that you thought, oh, I thought I would be higher there, or oh, I thought I would be lower here. Here's the time, the chance to give that talky logical mind a time to speak. What's it saying now? Was there anything that came up for you? Any flashes of information or emotion that came through with those questions? And you can choose to dig into that a little bit more. My favorite way is journaling, or even just talking it out loud to myself or to a friend. And the second assessment is similar in that it's a number scale like that. But it's more in reference to a specific outcome. But in this instance, we're just going to use a general framework of the life you desire. What is it that you would want? What is the life of your dreams? And truly, unique to you, your true meaning of that, not, you know, this is old Ashley coming through. A couple of years ago, I would have looked at this as a way to be like, oh, I want a beach house and a mountain house, and I want Louis Vuitton shoes and a bag, and I want the tall, dark, and handsome husband who, earns $1 million, and I get to sit outside by the pool sipping pina coladas all day. Like that would have been like, this is silly, Ashley. And that's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking about. But like when you think into your core about like what it is that you would really want, maybe it is to travel, and that's great. I love traveling too. But maybe it's around your how you feel when you get up in the morning, how you feel when you go to bed at night, the type of way you want to show up for your kids, the type of parent you want to be, what type of work you really want to be doing. Maybe you love your job and that's awesome, but maybe you don't. And maybe you would really want to do something else. And letting go of like, oh, I would have to do that. I would have to go to school. I would have to do this. I'd have to find money to go to school. And that's going to be a 4-year process. And I don't want that and blah, blah, blah. Like letting go of all of that. What is it that you would want right now? Maybe it's health related. Maybe it's energy related. Maybe you just want to be able to like, maybe you want to give up coffee. Maybe maybe you want to go for a walk every day. Maybe you just want to be able to, chase your kids around the yard and have the energy to play with them. Things like that. And if you get a picture in your head, and you can pause this or come back and ponder to it later, but like just really, kind of like all encompassing like your ideal life, your ideal day. Okay? So you know, with that picture in mind, this is the second assessment. And again, numbers from 1 to 10. How worthy do you feel of having that life? How safe does it feel for you to have that life? How deserving do you feel of having that life? How much do you deserve it? How much are you allowing yourself to have that life? How much do you trust that life? How confident are you that you can have that life? And how much do you believe it? How much do you believe that you can have that life? Now look at those words and look at the numbers that go with each of them, because we're talking about the same thing, right? The same desire, the same life that you want. But those words will activate different parts of you. And for me, whenever I do this, or when I've done it in the past, the allowing was almost always a really low number, like a 2 or a 3. And that particularly was really eye-opening to me, that there was something in me that was not allowing myself to have the things that I want, or to do or be the things that I want. So each of those words, again, you can choose to give yourself some time and space to sit through this and think about that and ponder it, journal through it, each of those words and how it made you feel and which ones were a little surprising and maybe why. Maybe there was one of those that was really high and you were like, wow, look at me. That's awesome. Okay, how can I get the rest of these numbers up that high? What can I do? And maybe it's joining Break the Mold Club where we're all working through this together, or maybe it's a book that you bought a long time ago that's been sitting on your nightstand that you haven't quite dug into yet, or maybe it's another podcast or someone else that you follow, or whatever it may be. But keep going, and let this assessment, these two assessments, be a moment of reflection and a new baseline for where you are right now for you to return to and look back on in the future to see how you've changed and maybe how you haven't. And then you get to choose how to respond to that information. May this be just one piece of pieces of peace that are available to you at all times. Thank you for watching or listening today. Catch you next week.